Hi y'all, welcome to Mattie's Kitchen. Today I'll be making y'all some corned beef brisket. And this is my brisket. This is 3.5 pounds. And it's a little fat. I could have tucked this fat off, but you should leave it on. And when you're cooking it, make sure the fat is up. And this is 3.5 pounds, like I say, and it's a pound. It's an hour for each pound. So I'll be cooking this about 4 hours. And then I have some carrots. I'm gonna put the carrots in there. The carrots. Okay, here's my onion. These are yellow onions. Now here's my cabbage. And these are some red potatoes, small. All of these are small. And when you're cooking it, have it almost the same size so they'll cook equally, evenly. You don't have to worry about overcooking the potatoes or overcooking the carrots. Potatoes take a little longer. And so that's why I got them almost the same size as my carrot. Okay, and then for my brisket, this is a honey Dijon mustard. I'll be using some of that. And here's that. And I'll be using some brown sugar. This is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and this is a 1/2 cup of mustard. Okay, I'm getting ready to wash my meat. You should wash the meat because it'll be sodium in it. Wash it real good and see. I said wrong. Here's the fat. I don't know what I was talking about. But wash it real good. I already had pre-washed it and stuff. I'm talking about the fat. I made a mistake, y'all. Here's the fat right here. I don't know what I was talking about or what I was thinking about. But make sure, when I say when you're cooking, make sure your fat is up. The fat side is up. Okay, what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to put the brown sugar, the 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and the Dijon mustard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this together. Mix it real together and stuff. You don't need much season with brisket. You really don't. Don't try to over season it with all that stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and glaze. I'm going to rub this over here. Rub it over the meat. See, I'm going to rub it over the meat good. Put it in here. Like I said, Dijon mustard and some brown sugar. That's all you need. Just rub it on there good so it can go all over the meat. All on the sides and stuff, and wrap it around the sides. It's going to get on the pan, but it don't matter. Just have a little bit more. But make sure you do. And I'm going to turn it over and rub it too, because this is flavoring it really good. Just rub it on here. Have with some gloves on. Matter. I always cook with gloves. I just wondered, did y'all see my other video? The one with the pork and beans and the hot dog? That's a good little video. I used to eat that when I was little. Okay, y'all. A little season pack, a little season came with the meat, and I don't really trust. I don't know what's in this. I'm gonna put just a little bit to be safe, just a little bit on here, because I don't know what's in this package. So I don't use a season that much. I just use my own Dijon mustard, like I said, brown sugar. It don't take much season to corned beef brisket. It don't take that much. That's a good tasting meat without a lot of seasoning. And I'm gonna pour, and when you're cooking it, you should pour your water around it. Don't pour it on top, just pour it around the meat. You don't want to fill it, just pour it around it, and you don't want to cover it. So I'm gonna let this bake in the oven. I'm gonna let this bake. That's all you need. If it you have to cover it really good with aluminum foil. You cover it with aluminum foil. Make sure you seal it, because it's gonna cook. Now, like I said, it was 3.5 pounds, so it cooks an hour per pound. So it's gonna be about 4 hours. I'm gonna cook this about 4 hours. Cover it up with aluminum foil good. You have to do this. You need to cover it up. And you're going to let it slow cook. I set my oven to 325, and it's preheated to 325. And I'm going to let this cook for, like I said, it's 3.5. I'm going to let it cook about 3.5 hours, and I'm going to check it. And if it should be real tender. So you shouldn't open it up. Don't open it up till after those 3 hours go by, and you see how it looks. I'm also going to put this top on it to extra fill it. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put this in the oven, and I'll see you all in about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. My oven is already preheated. I'm gonna set it in there in the oven and let it cook for about 3.5 hours on 325 heat. Okay, and I'll get back with you all. Hey y'all, welcome back to the kitchen, to Mattie's Kitchen. I cooked the corned beef brisket for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, like the instructions said on the label. Now I'm taking it off. That's like a little small piece of meat. Okay, and I'm gonna transfer this into the pan that I'll be cooking. See how tender that is? That's tender. Put that in here, okay. Put it in the middle of the pan, and I'm gonna cover it up so it can stay. I'm gonna put a little of this juice in there because I want a little juice in here, just a little bit. Pour it to the bottom. Okay, and all this liquid that came from the brisket, I'm gonna cook these vegetables with it, separate. Now you can take it, I'm pouring this in here, because I need this juice. Now what you can do is you can also, put the vegetables around your meat and cook them in the oven with this liquid. But I found the best way, if you're first cooking it, cook it like this right here, because it's easy, to cook it separate, because you can taste it. Sometimes when I put the vegetable around it, the meat around it, I found out that the vegetable is not as good unless you cook it separately. So I got a pan for each one of my vegetables. So I'm gonna cover this up so it'll stay dry. And this is gonna go back in the oven. Once my vegetables get cooked, I'm gonna put it back in the oven. The corned beef is done. Let me show you. I forgot to tell you this. So this is done. And when you're cutting it, hold this knife. So you're gonna cut it against the grain. See how that look? You cut it against the grain. If you saw some strands, then you cut it the opposite way. I didn't even take my thing off my knife. See, like this way. See how tender that is? That is so tender. See? And it's good. See, look how that looks? That looks good. That's how it's supposed to look. You cut it against the grain. Now, if this just a string, it'll be wrong. But you cut it against the grain. Okay, I'm going to lay that right there. And I'm going to cover it up, like I said. I'm getting ready to start cooking my vegetables. Cover it back up so it can stay sealed. Okay, I'm gonna start with my potatoes. These are red potatoes, small. I'm gonna put them in here and let them start with my potatoes. I'm gonna season them as I go. Pull some of this water off. Okay. Start with my potatoes. So they cut. Some of them might be cut a little bigger, so I'm gonna take and cut this in two. I don't want to be too big. I don't want to cut myself neither. Should put it on the cutting board. Okay, cut this one. They're not that big, but it's just gonna take them a little longer to cook. Okay then, and what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take some of this juice. See some of this juice from there. It's the same effect. You're just cooking it separate because you know why? Because it's easier, for you to control it like this right here. You'll make sure all your vegetables season. You season with the juice because that's gonna make it taste like the brisket, the taste that you desire. Okay. The only thing I'm gonna put in here is a little pepper because you don't need no salt. And if I do need salt, when I finish, I get some salt and I'll taste it and put it on there. So I'm gonna let this go and cook. I put just a little pepper in here. Like I said, this is a meal that's good without all that seasoning. So I'm gonna put this here, and if I have to season, I put a little butter in here. Because I said I put a little butter in here, just a little butter to give it flavor. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna start this to cooking. I'm gonna let this cook. So I cut the stove on, let's start cooking. Next, I'm gonna do my carrots. Put my carrots in here. Take and pour the water off the carrots. See, all this is going around your brisket. And you don't have to cook it this way as options, but this is the way I'm cooking it for beginners. Because like I said, it's easy for you to do it like this. I'm gonna put the carrots in here. Put a little, this water on here, this juice from the carrots, from the brisket. It'll be the same effect if you put it in the, if you had to put it in the, around the meat. The only thing is, it might not get, some of it could get done quick and some of them not. You just got to know what you put in first. And I know you always let your carrots cook first. But that's a lot of opening the pot and letting, you're going to get the same effect. So I suggest you do it like this, ready. Cut my carrots on, they're going to cook. It's just going to have to wash a lot of dishes. That's all it is, what I'm doing. So I'm going to put the onions in here. I'm going to cook these last. I'm going to let these saute a little bit. Put them in here. I'm going to cook these only with butter. Put a little butter in it. I'm going to let this cook. Cut the stove on. Okay, I'm going to let that cook. The carrots are cooking. The potatoes are cooking. Now the onions. All of this is good. I mean, you don't have to put onions around it. You don't have to put potatoes. You can just put, well, I think you need some potatoes. And you probably need your carrots. But maybe the potatoes and the cabbage you might not do. Okay. So I'm getting ready. I'm going to use this pot for my cabbage. Put my cabbage on. And what I'm going to do with my cabbage, I'm going to cut up a little onion. Just put a little onions in here. The onion that's left over, I want to season my cabbage with to get a good little flavor. Okay, cut these up right quick. Put this on my cabbage. And the reason they wet, I let them stay in wet because I did my vegetables. And you don't want the vegetable to turn brown. So you always should, put it in some cold water. If you want to do the vegetable the night before, put them in cold water. And it's okay. You ain't got to cut these all that fine because they're going to cook away anyway. And I'm going to put this butter in here. Let the butter go and melt. And I'll get back with you when the butter melts. Okay, my vegetables for my onions for my carrot has sauteed. And I'm going to take and pour this in here, pour my cabbage in here. And you don't have to cook any other vegetable when you're cooking this because you have already... you got the carrots, you got the onions, potatoes, you got enough vegetable and meat. You got vegetable, meat, and starch. That's all you really need for dinner, You can add something else. I don't know, maybe bread or some type of bread, but all I eat is this because I got everything I need. Okay, so I'm going to cut this stove on. When this get through cooking, most time I'll be through now. In this cabbage, I'm going to put a little pepper in here. Just a little pepper. So it can taste right. I got the sauteed onions. And like I said, the flavor from the corned beef is really all you need because most people all they do is take and put the vegetable around the corned beef and they don't do that much seasoning, but did make it taste better. Here's the juice from the thing. I didn't use no water. I only used the juice from the corned beef, the brisket. Okay, I'm going to let this steam a little bit. Probably put a little butter on it, just a little bit for a taste. Just a little butter for taste. Just a little bit. Make it taste better. Okay. I'm going to put the top on this and let this start cooking. My potatoes, my carrots, how they looking? They almost done. I think they're almost done. And now, here's my potatoes. They're almost done. You can see the juice from the corned beef. Yeah. Cut that low. This low. Cut this low. I'm going to cut this off for a while till this start cooking. And then ain't much more to do. After this gets done, you just arrange it round. Thank you. That's it. I'll get back with you. Okay, y'all. My cabbage is ready. Cabbage is ready. Cooked in its own juice. I add a little bit more butter in it. And I add pepper. I didn't add salt. I'm going to taste it because of the corned beef. Brisket is kind of, it's already kind of, it's kind of salty. So the juice, that's what I use. I didn't use any water. Here's my onions. They're done. I kind of grilled them a little bit. And here's my potatoes. And here's my carrots. Here's my cabbage. That's my carrots. And here's my cabbage. And I'm getting ready to slice this meat now. Show you how tender it is. See that? See how good that looks? That looks so good. And it's not stringy because you have to cut against the grain. I asked the people in the meat department the best way, and they told me you cut it against the grain. See how good that looks? That's some good meat. And you cut it kind of, I'm cutting it slant because it won't be on the grain. See that? How good that is? So I'm going to start this way now. I'm going to see how this look. Because that's kind of getting to the, let me see, I'm going to cut it this way. See how this piece look. Oh, that's perfect. See this piece right here? That's perfect. That's how it's supposed to look. This is some good corned beef, honey. I'll taste it. See, I'm cutting it. Sometimes you can't make it even because that's how the, you're cutting the side and look, that's perfect corned beef brisket. That's perfect. Slice all of this up. Sometimes you can't cut it an even cut because if you do, you'll get the grain and you don't want, that'll make it tough. And it won't even taste as good. See, this is some good meat. Side cutting, look how good it looks. Yeah. I paid a pretty penny for it too. I bought it in Publix. I love their meats. See how that is? That's making, that little piece made a lot of servings. Okay, there it is. And I'm gonna place this in the pan. Place it in the pan, straighten it. See, I got some little juice to the bottom. Let me get this, move this cabbage out the way so I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, put this to the end. See, I got a little water at the bottom of the pan because I'm gonna put this back in the oven. I'm gonna do it good. So that's some good meat, honey. It's kind of thick. I like for mine to be a little thick. Nobody says it's good. It's pink, reddish color, whatever color that is. And it's good. And I got, from this little piece, I got a lot of meat from it. See? See? Put it in here. This will serve about 4 people, maybe more than 4 people. It should, much as it costs. This meat is expensive, but it's good. It's worth it. So I'm going to put this in here. Kind of move this around a little bit, see my corned beef. Now I'm going to put it around. I'm going to put the cabbage here. I'm going to start with my cabbage. Drain the water off or the juice around it, off of it. Put it around it. It's done. And I seasoned it only with pepper and a little butter. I put a tap of salt in it because sometimes the cabbage takes a little bit more of a. Now I'm gonna take my potatoes, put some potatoes around it. I'm gonna make it look good now. I'm trying to make it look good. Put my potatoes down here, my potatoes down this way. And this is a meal, honey. You can eat this meal. This is a good meal. It tastes better than it looks, because I love brisket. See, to put these potatoes, and these potatoes are good. I butter them. I season with the juice from the brisket, and they're really good. They're really good, okay? Get that, make it neat looking. Okay. And I'm putting my carrots. I'm going to put the carrots down by the cabbage. Might not be the prettiest looking, but it sure tastes good. It really tastes good. I taste each individual. And I put my little onions around at the end. Put some onions down here. See my onions? And when you're serving this, you're gonna give each person, onions. And I grilled my onions. I put them in the oven, got them a little crisp, and they was cooked with butter and the juice from the thing. Like I said, this is a good meal. Okay. I'm gonna pour a little juice from the brisket so I can get that last seasoning. So I'm put it. See, this came from the brisket, the water and just the brisket. I'm gonna put a little bit on that so it can look good. Put it back in the oven for a few minutes. Get that crisp on it. See? Put some on the meat, a little bit on the meat. That's it, y'all. I'm putting it in the oven. I'm gonna show you the finishing touch. Okay. That looks okay. I'm gonna take this one up. This is kind of an ugly potato. I can take and put one of these on it. And that's good. So, see? It tastes good. And it's simple. Like I say, it's simple. Let me put it in the oven for a few seconds. And I'll be finished with it. Just a few seconds. I don't want to be in here long. Okay. Hey y'all, this is my finishing touch. My cabbage, my carrots, my onions, and my potatoes, my new potatoes. And this is so good. Oh, that corned beef is so delicious. I don't think it was cooked good. All you had to do was take and put a little water in there and put you some Dijon mustard and brown sugar and then glaze it together. And when I cooked my cabbage, I put the water from the brisket. With all my vegetables, I use the water from the brisket so it can get that taste. Now, I could have cooked that inside with the water in there, put the cabbage in separate in the pan with the brisket, and I could have put my potatoes in there. But then when you do it like that, you got to keep on making sure you put your cabbage in last, make sure you put the carrots in first, and blah, blah. This is easier. And here's a finishing touch. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share it with somebody. And may you have a great afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to Mattie's Kitchen.